Hey Cardfighters, Chris here from Vanguard Central, bringing you a Touken Ranbu deck focused on HOMAREEEEEEEE as the main mechanic. Just in case you guys didn't know what HOMARE is, it's a special ability for Touken Ranbu, which is, they're all on-hit Vanguard abilities, so you have to hit Vanguard to activate HOMARE, and you can only use one HOMARE ability per turn. So be careful about which one you choose to use, but they're all very powerful effects, so it's going to be pressuring your opponent a lot. The starter is going to be Kashu Kiyomitsu. His ability lets you unflip one, and the deck kind of varies between counterblasting not at all and counterblasting a ton, but I like to have him just as a good backup. Just in case you need him, he can help you when you do end up in those situations where you're blowing all your counterblasts. For the grade 3s, we have Tsurumaru Kuninaga, and he's going to be the stride break skill of the deck. Very good when you're going for those constant stride plays, just because he's going to enable a lot of your soul blasting skills as well as powering up your field, hitting those perfect numbers. He also has a HOMARE ability which lets you unflip damage, which is a good change up, just in case you've been going through it a bit faster than you expect and you don't really need to use the strides. The other grade 3 of the deck is Tombokiri. He's an excellent switch up because he's a silent Tom, so opponent can't guard him with grade 0s when he attacks Vanguard, which is super good because sometimes you see them check all grade 0s and then you're like, ha, you can't guard me now. And that steals games. His Shinken Hisatsu is very good for multi-attack type decks, gaining the cross-ride type power, plus 2000 every time, when you use the effect, and that ability will stack, so you can go up to really high numbers and really punish Aqua players or Nova players or whatever players that do their multi-attacks by using his skill. So very good to have to switch up between the two. For the grade 2s, we have Heshikiri Hasebe. They mix you up with those vowels. Hasebe. And he's probably the best grade 2. Well, at least tied top 2 grade 2 in the deck, just because his HOMARE skill lets him attack the back row and restand. So it's basically going to be able to retire a back row whenever it hits a Vanguard, and that applies a lot of pressure, especially early game when it can hit starters. Next, we have Yamato no Kami Yasusada, and his effect is going to be a Shinken Hisatsu, which gives him a HOMARE skill, and that skill lets you get a lot of advantage. So applies a lot of on-hit pressure because your opponent isn't going to want you to draw cards. We have 3 Shishio, the other MVP of the deck for grade 2s. Being able to draw a lot of cards off of him, especially combined with stand triggers, which we do run a little bit of them, and also having resist or kind of resist can definitely help when you're facing like Link Joker players and things like that. And lastly, we have 2 Naki Gitsune, and his HOMARE skill lets you plus, but you're also forced to call a card from your hand after you draw a card. But it can be very useful at early game when you don't really have your field set up anyway. For the grade 1s, we have 4 perfect guards. Kosetsu Samonji. I like to call him Captain Ukitake from Bleach. That's what he looks like to me. We have 4 of the stride flotters. Ima no Tsurugi, which we jokingly refer to him as I am not Tsurugi. But he's a stride flotter of the deck, and importantly, he can give your grade 4s plus 5k and the HOMARE ability, which unflips damage. That's going to be really important for a lot of the combos of the deck. And then we have 4 Horikawa Kunihiro, and he's going to be, his ability lets you counterblast 1 and make him 11k booster for the turn. Very good for hitting the right numbers, getting that little bit extra soul just in case you need it for things like Shishio, other soul blast effects. And then we have 1 Nikari Aoi. Shingen Hisatsu gives a Vanguard that's grade 3 or less, plus 10, so definitely get those early plays going on, and combo with Tombokiri, sometimes your opponent just will not be able to guard him at all. Again, kind of stealing games. And for the triggers, we have 2 Sayo crits and then 4 of the effect crits, which helps a little bit with numbers, but the issue is that it has to be in stand on your Vanguard attack, so don't really like that too much. We have 3 Eisens, amazing card in the deck. Another reference to Bleach Eisen, the mastermind behind the whole series. This card is absolutely insane, letting you restand columns when you attack with a grade 4 Homare Vanguard. Lets you double procs off of Shishio, just very, very good. But only 3 just because you generally don't need more than 1 a game, and you can definitely play the deck without it. So, not necessary, but very strong. And then we have 3 draws to get some of the combos going. It is a bit of a combo-centric deck. It helps a lot more when you have all the pieces. So, got a little bit of draw, and then the 4 heals. And then for the Stride Zone, we have 1 Mikazuki Munichika. He's the Generation Rare, letting you get a lot of power, kill the front row, as well as getting a crit. I stole a game with this guy just because I had gone through like all my other strides, and then he was hitting like 40, 50, 50k, just crazy high numbers, and my opponent did not have a perfect card. We only run 1 because he can unflip anything in the G zone. And usually you're going to be unflipping one of the 3 Hotomarus, which the effect is pretty good. It can set up some like instant win scenarios. Like if your opponent doesn't have a perfect guard and they don't have enough cards to guard Hotomaru, you can just like slap down your whole hand, and then you'll be able to restand it guaranteed. And then they can't guard the restand either because they couldn't guard the first one. So that's very good. But the main purpose of his deck is to have a grade 4 with Homare, which will activate Eisen, which as I said before, is just an amazing card. Whittles down your opponent's hand a lot just from all the restands, especially since they're kind of forced to guard it, or they would want to guard it because of all the Homare skills that might go off if it hits. And then last we have 4 Iwatoshi. This card is super good. Basically, it turns your grade 4 into a Vermilion, so hits the whole front row for 1 counterblast, is usable on the first stride. A lot of people who might not have experience will call against Touken Ranbu, will call their whole front row, and then you'll just be able to wipe it away, getting a lot of advantage off them losing their front row, losing cards to attack you. So that's very good. Alright guys, I hope you liked our HOMARE deck profile. It's a very fun deck, very powerful, comboing those Hotomarus and Eisens. Definitely check it out if you're thinking about building the Touken Ranbu deck. And thanks for watching, guys. Please give us a like, it helps out a lot. Comment down below, what did you think of the deck? And subscribe for more content. Vanguard Central, out.